Imagine this. You've spent years working hard, paying your taxes, following every rule, waiting patiently for your green card, dreaming of the day you can finally call America home. And then, just like that, it's gone. Not because you did something terrible, not because you broke the law, but because you made one tiny mistake, one wrong step. You traveled outside the United States without the right paperwork. You thought you were fine. You didn't know the rules had changed. And now, you're stuck outside. Or worse, you come back, and the officer at the border looks at your green card, looks at you, and says, "I'm sorry, you no longer have a right to enter." That's not a nightmare. That could be your reality. And if you don't listen closely to what I'm about to tell you, it might happen to you. This is Immigration News Today, and I'm James. And today, we are talking about something that could change everything for green card holders. New travel rules that are coming in January 2026. Yes, 2026 may sound far away, but trust me, you do not want to wait until the last minute to find out you've lost your permanent resident status because you didn't understand the new requirements. This is urgent. This is serious. And if you have a green card, or you're planning to get one, you need to hear this right now. Let's start with the most important question. What exactly is changing in January 2026 when it comes to green card travel rules? Well, here's the reality. While the official policy updates haven't all been published yet, we already know from USCIS statements, congressional discussions, and immigration policy memos that the U.S. government is tightening the rules around what it means to maintain permanent resident status, especially for those who spend long periods of time outside the United States. And the biggest focus? Continuous physical presence and the proper use of travel documents like advance parole. Now, let's break this down in plain English because I know a lot of you watching this are not lawyers. You're just regular people trying to do the right thing. You have a green card. Maybe you got it through marriage, through employment, through family sponsorship, or as a refugee. And you've heard the term permanent resident, and you thought, okay, that means I can live here permanently. I'm good. But here's the problem. Permanent doesn't mean without rules, and it definitely doesn't mean without limits on travel. Here's what you need to know. If you are a green card holder and you leave the United States for too long, usually more than 6 months and definitely more than a year, without the proper reentry permit or advance parole document, you are putting your entire status at risk. Customs and Border Protection, CBP officers at the airport or border can, and often do, question whether you really intend to make the United States your permanent home. And if they decide you've abandoned that intention, they can deny you entry. They can revoke your green card right there. And once that happens, getting it back is not easy. It's expensive, it's complicated, and in some cases, it's impossible. Now here's where the January 2026 update comes in. While the exact details are still being finalized, USCIS and the Department of Homeland Security are expected to formalize stricter enforcement of existing rules and introduce new tracking measures to monitor how often and how long green card holders are leaving the U.S. We're talking about enhanced data sharing, more frequent reviews of travel patterns, and potential new reporting requirements. This isn't just about CBP officers at the airport anymore. This is about a system that is going to be watching more closely than ever before. And let me be clear, this is not about punishing immigrants. This is about protecting the integrity of the immigration system. The U.S. government issues green cards to people who are supposed to make this country their home. If you're gone for months or even years at a time without a valid reason or without the right paperwork, then the government starts to ask, is this person really a permanent resident? Or are they just using the green card as a way to live and work elsewhere while keeping a backup option in the U.S.? So, if you're a green card holder, here's what you absolutely must know, starting right now. First, how long can you leave the U.S. without risking your green card? The general rule is this. If you're outside the United States for more than 6 months but less than a year, You may still be questioned by CBP about the purpose of your trip and whether you maintained ties to the U.S. If you're gone for more than 1 year, that is automatically considered abandonment of permanent resident status, unless you had a reentry permit before you left. And even with a reentry permit, there are limits. Most reentry permits are valid for up to 2 years, and you still have to be careful about how long you stay abroad and whether your reason for staying is considered temporary. Second, what is advance parole, and why is it a lifesaver? Advance parole is a travel document that allows certain immigrants, including green card applicants and some green card holders, to leave the U.S. and return legally without abandoning their status. If you have a pending green card application, like through adjustment of status, you must get advance parole if you plan to leave the country. If you leave without it, USCIS will consider your application abandoned, and you'll have to start all over again. No joke. I've spoken to so many people who took a quick trip just to visit family while their green card was processing, and when they came back, their entire case was denied. Months of work, thousands of dollars, gone, just like that. Third, what about dual intent visas and green cards? Some visas, like H-1B or L-1, allow for dual intent, which means you can have a temporary work visa and still apply for a green card without violating the terms of your visa. But green card holders don't have that luxury in the same way. Once you have a green card, the expectation is that you're living in the U.S. permanently. So every time you leave, you need to ask yourself, am I doing this the right way? Do I have the right paperwork? Am I planning to come back? Now let's talk about real-life consequences. I want to share a story with you because this isn't just about policy. This is about people, real lives, real families. Just a few months ago, I spoke with a woman named Carla. She came to the U.S. on a green card 10 years ago after marrying a U.S. citizen. She worked hard, raised 2 kids here, paid her taxes, never missed a deadline. But her mother got very sick in her home country, and Carla decided to go back to help care for her. She was gone for 11 months. She thought, I'm a green card holder. I can come and go as I please. But when she tried to return, the CBP officer at the airport took one look at her passport, saw the 11-month absence, and said, I'm sorry, it looks like you've abandoned your permanent residence. Carla was devastated. She had to hire a lawyer. She had to file for a returning resident visa, SB1, which is incredibly difficult to get. She had to prove that her stay abroad was truly temporary and beyond her control. It took months. It cost thousands. And there was no guarantee she'd get back in. That is the reality we are dealing with. And now, with the new rules coming in 2026, things are going to get even stricter. The government is going to be watching more closely. They're going to be looking at travel patterns. They're going to be asking more questions at the border. And if you're not prepared, if you haven't been keeping track of your time abroad, if you haven't been using the right documents, you could lose everything. So what can you do right now to protect yourself? Number 1, track your travel. Know how long you've been outside the U.S. Keep a record of every trip. Write it down, take screenshots, use a notebook or an app. Because when it comes time to prove that you maintained ties to the United States, you're going to need to show that your trips were temporary and that you always intended to come back. Number 2, never leave the U.S. without the right paperwork. If you're a green card holder and you need to leave the country for more than 6 months, talk to an immigration attorney. Find out if you need a reentry permit. If you're applying for a green card and you need to leave the U.S. for any reason, you must get advance parole. Do not, under any circumstances, leave without it if your green card is pending. Number 3, use USCIS tools to track your case. Go to the official USCIS website and use the Case Status Online tool. Enter your receipt number. Check the status of your green card application, your advance parole request, your reentry permit, or anything else that's in process. Know where your case stands. Know if USCIS has requested additional evidence, an RFE. And if they do, respond immediately. Delays can kill your case. Missing a deadline can get your application denied. Number 4, Prepare for your green card interview. If you're applying for a green card through marriage, employment, or family, you will likely have an interview. USCIS officers are trained to ask detailed questions about your travel history, your ties to your home country, and your intentions in the United States. Be honest. Be prepared. Bring documentation that shows you've maintained ties to the U.S., like lease agreements, utility bills, tax returns, pay stubs, school records for your kids, anything that proves you're living here as a permanent resident. Number 5. If you get an RFE, a NOID, or a denial, act fast. A request for evidence, RFE, means USCIS needs more information. A notice of intent to deny, NOID, means they're thinking about rejecting your case. Both are serious. Don't ignore them. Respond with the right documents, and if you're not sure what to do, get legal help. A good immigration attorney can be the difference between approval and denial. And finally, if you're ever unsure about your status, your travel plans, or your next steps, ask for help. Don't rely on rumors. Don't trust advice from friends or family unless they're immigration attorneys. Go to the official government websites. Use the tools that are available to you. And if you need professional guidance, invest in a qualified immigration lawyer who knows the system and can protect your rights. Because here's the truth. The American dream is real. But it's not automatic. It's not guaranteed. It takes hard work. It takes patience. And it takes knowledge. You have to know the rules. You have to follow the rules. And you have to stay informed, especially when those rules are about to change. So, if you're watching this video, if you're a green card holder, if you're applying for one, if you have family members who are impacted by these rules, this is your wake-up call. The new travel rules coming in January 2026 are not just bureaucratic updates. They are a direct warning. The U.S. government is serious about who gets to stay and who doesn't. Don't let your hard work go to waste. Don't let a simple mistake cost you your home, your family, your future. Stay informed, stay prepared, and most importantly, stay protected. Thank you for watching Immigration News Today. If this video helped you, please hit that like button. Share it with someone you know who might need to hear this. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. And in the comments below, let me know what immigration questions you have. What topics do you want us to cover next? Because your voice matters, your story matters, and together, we're going to keep fighting for the truth, for clarity, and for the American dream. I'm James, and I'll see you in the next video, where we uncover the latest immigration news, break down the policies that impact your life, and give you the facts you need to protect your future. Stay safe, stay informed, and never stop fighting for your place in this country.